Going on, everyone? Oh my gosh, we made it to Friday. I don't know about you, but I feel like I have been hanging on by a thread this week. I thought the holidays were supposed to be, relaxing and just a chance to really just take it all in. And that hasn't really been the case for me yet. Just running around. But I hope as the holidays and everything continue to approach that we all get a second to really just savor what this season is all about and slow down. And I'm really excited to just decompress with all of you today. So happy Friday. Let's get into it. We have got so much to cover, and it is in partnership with our friends at Zapier. There they are. Friday, Danny's here. Yes, congrats, Danny. We just finished teaching our semester. So that was a nice, chapter to close, but it's always on to something else, isn't it? I don't know about you, Danny, but it doesn't really feel like work or anything has slowed down. But Friday, indeed. Pop chat Friday. Let's get into it. Kathy Ann, our winner of Zapier merch last week, and we're happy to report that they can ship to Scotland. So, Kathy Ann, your merch is on its way. Oh, thank you. This is my little festive, my little, I don't even think it's an ugly sweater. I think it's adorable. So thank you. We've got Santa and sunglasses because, I am in Florida and I'm actually sweating where this right now. We've got little sequins and candy canes. So thank you so much. I wanted to be festive because actually this is the last pop chat of the year. We're going to take the next 2 weeks off with Christmas and New Year's, and then we'll be back on, I want to say it's January 9th is the next Friday. So stay tuned. Another Danny is here. We're in good company. Matthew. So I had the pleasure of joining Matthew's live stream this morning, and it was just such a great way to kick things off because he really did urge us to slow down, especially in a sense that I can really relate to. He talked a lot about the news cycle and how we're bombarded with headlines and notifications, and how we used to just get a newspaper on our doorstep. We would sip our morning coffee and kind of read it cover to cover, and then that would be it. And now we're just bombarded with headlines, and it can be kind of exhausting. So thank you, Matthew, for hosting that stream this morning and really just encouraging a nice reset for this Friday. Joseph from Tampa. Joseph, what's new? Keep me posted. Awesome. Fiona from Zapier. We're going to say hello to her in a second, but let's get into it. Oh my goodness. If you haven't had a chance yet, tell us who you are, where you're joining from, and what you do. If you don't know me, my name is Brienne Fleming. I've been hosting this chat going on 6 years in January. And it is a fusion of marketing and pop culture, two things I love to talk about. I'm also an academic. I teach at the University of Florida in their online master's program. What else? I love the Backstreet Boys. I love the 90s and 2000s. I'm just a teeny bopper at heart. But I'm also a mom and a wife and a podcaster. And yeah, I think that's me in a nutshell. I live in Jupiter, Florida. If you're ever down this way, say hello. And yes, unlike my beloved Backstreet Boys say, I do care who you are, where you're from, and what you do. So make sure you say hello and introduce yourselves in the chat. Danny says, our social listening shows seasonality this time of year, less online engagement, and hopefully more touching grass. Yeah. Or snow for some people, right? Do we have some green grass around the world and the country today? I hope so. Touch whatever it is, or have some hot cocoa by the fire. Those are some things you can take advantage of. Kathy Ann is also a marketer and lecturer, Barbadian, living and working in Scotland. I didn't know that about you, Kathy Ann. Amazing. Yes, those are the days, my friends. Getting a newspaper. I I think this was more, I think I kind of missed that trend, waking up with a newspaper. I never personally have subscribed to a newspaper, but I was all about my magazines. Those were content. That was the best. I was subscribed to so many magazines. Anna's here. Her standing meeting is canceled this week. Love it. Meetings on Fridays, how productive could they be? And this is more of just a fun hangout. So happy you're here, Anna. And Fiona from Zapier, if you're here, say hello. If you haven't had a chance to connect with her, she's on LinkedIn. She leads creators at Zapier. And if you ever have any questions about the platform, definitely connect with her. There's just so much you can do with Zapier. And I'm going to tell you about a really cool Zap I set up for myself this week. We're all so many things: live streamer, network builder, digital marketing consultant. And, I'm trying to focus on, what else am I beyond these kind of like work things? Like, I'm trying to be a really great neighbor lately. There's, Matthew, you were talking about kindness on your stream this morning and what's something kind you've done lately. There's someone who just moved into our community who's also a mom. She has a daughter about the same age as mine. And I've kind of like tried to rope her in and invite her to some of the events and things that I know that are going around. So we're so much more than these things too. Grass, what's that? Danny's in in the Boston area. Anna's in New York, and snow is on the ground. I miss the papers on the wooden rods in the library. Ugh. And the smell of that. Everyone's saying hi to Fiona. She's here. Oh, Paula, no worries. Working from home, lost track of time. Isn't it funny how that happens? They used to think that working from home, we would be less productive, but alas, we are more productive, losing track of time in our work. But hello, Fiona. So happy you're back. And we're going to jump into things. I don't need to really rehash what Pop Chat is. It's where marketing and pop culture collide. And as a result, we get to know each other beyond our work and our jobs and kind of bond over the fun headlines. So I'm going to ask you some questions about some trending topics this week. There's no authority, whatever you want to share and talk about. We're all pretty smart in this room, and I learned so much from all of you. So please share your thoughts and have fun and connect with each other right afterward. Yes, Fiona's in Canada. So much snow here. My husband is actually on a flight home from Canada as we speak. And yeah, he's from Boston, and every time he goes back up north, he forgets what it was like. How much snow? We need to know. Yeah, give us the inches of snow you guys have. I almost never take a real lunch break anymore since work from home. Isn't that funny? We think it's going to be a little more leisurely, and it never is. But Fiona, I hope, in the spirit of that you try to slow down this season. But again, Fiona and our friends at Zapier, if you're unfamiliar, it is an incredible automation tool that helps all of the platforms in your tech stack talk to each other. And it allows you to set up these really smart automations to make your lives easier. And I want to tell you about, excuse me, a Zap that I set up where I used Copilot, their AI assistant, to send me a weekly email on Wednesday mornings that recaps headlines in pop culture, advertising, and marketing. So I'm going to get a recap of headlines so I don't have to kind of manually sift through them anymore or as much. I might still, be all up in my feeds looking for stuff, but that's going to give me some peace of mind to get that delivered straight to my inbox. So I am really excited about that Zap to come to me and help me make this chat even better. And I also clarified that I only want positive headlines in my inbox. So setting it up with Copilot was a breeze. I just had to kind of do a little bit of a Gmail integration, which was a snap. So there's There's so much you can do. So go check out Zapier. You get 100 tasks per month just on their free plan. So start experimenting, start making your lives easier, and you're going to love it. Okay, all this snow talk, and I have an icebreaker. We're talking about ice and snow. The snow here finally melted. Amy, you're in Baltimore, right? Too much snow, also freezing, getting 3 centimeters today. It is pretty, though, I will say that. Yes, I would kind of love to see that out my window. My mission is to multiply kindness and unlock growth for good people doing good work. Yes, please connect with Matthew. He's just a light on the timeline. So, okay, my icebreaker today, I kind of think is a personal one. And today's pop chat is kind of a love letter to YouTube. I want to know, what would we find in your YouTube history? What do you typically turn to YouTube for? Are you watching tutorials, music videos? What kind of niches are you involved in on YouTube? And what rabbit holes do you usually find yourself going down? We're going to talk a lot about YouTube today. Baltimore, we got like 4 or 5 inches last weekend. Who loves going to NFL games in the snow? Because I keep seeing games in Baltimore and Pittsburgh and Buffalo and Foxborough. And I'm just like, I don't know if I love anything that much to stand in the freezing cold that long. You know? Fiona measuring the snow in centimeters made my day. Yeah, that's what they do in Canada. Couldn't tell you what that is in inches off the top of my head, but 3 centimeters of snow is too much for me. Oh my goodness, guys. Again, if I seem out of breath or if I'm coughing, 35 weeks pregnant tomorrow, less than 5 weeks to go. And there's no room for my lungs right now. So it's fun. It's fun. Host a live stream, they said. So thank you for bearing with me. Lathan's here. He says, my YouTube history is mostly music, food videos, and clips of shows I want to rewatch. Ooh, I want specifics, Lathan. What are we cooking? What are we listening to? Figure skating live streams. That sounds really relaxing. Like, I guess what figure skating leagues and things are going on. I need the details. Alex Earl, she's been in the headlines a lot lately. She was runner-up on Dancing with the Stars. She's got a breakup that she's going through. She also just announced a really great partnership. She's partnering with this company called Gorgie, which is kind of like an energy drink. But anyway, I'm familiar with the founder, so I was surprised to see that. Travel, weather, and vlogs. What if there is a single platform for live creators? Let's call it an OS, everything to enable and excel at live hosting in one place. I do feel like there's so much more we can be doing to enhance some live streams. Yes, baby Zap is almost here. He's zapping all my energy out of me. But yes, counting down to baby Zapier. Kathy Ann, music videos, dance choreography. Tutorials, comedy sets, yoga with Adrian. I've heard of her, and the list goes on. Love it. Lots of Epicurious, Insider Food, Babish, and New York Times cooking. I need to get more into cooking videos. I do turn to TikTok for those because I'm like, can you give it to me in 90 seconds? Music videos and travel documentaries, vintage concerts. That's kind of the rabbit hole I go down as well. And I'm going to share some a vintage 1998 clip with you in a second. Yes, another huge beverage brand. Yes, Gorgie. Yeah, I just find her to be so likable. I don't know. She's really great. I listen to music exclusively on YouTube. Ooh, so you must have been intrigued by the Billboard stats and headline this week, Anna. If you don't know what I'm talking about, stay tuned. Yes, zapping my energy, but it's okay. It'll be worth it. All right. If you want to chime in about your YouTube habits, keep it going, but let's do a little rewind. Today in pop culture history, we had some famous birthdays this week. One of our pop queens, Christina Aguilera, turned 45. She looks better than ever, and I'm really excited for this Christmas special. She's performing on the Eiffel Tower, in the Eiffel Tower, on the Eiffel Tower. Christmas in Paris is what it's called, and it premieres on December 22nd on CBS, and then it'll be available for streaming. But you really can't beat her voice. I just need it. Danny says, favorite trend I've been in lately is 10 out of 10 bleed out spots, which glorifies these beautiful scenic shots taken by men as a desired place to die heroically. Whoa, that is an interesting rabbit hole. Lots of different videos to walk me through how to fix things around the house. My husband sent me the funniest TikTok today. It shows this guy and it plays that I don't even know if you could see this. It's like reminding my wife she married a man who could fix things. And then he's on YouTube, like all confused. That's how it goes. Good for you, Anna, fixing things on your own. I need to do that more often. Vintage is grainy handhelds from the 70s and 90s. You met Alex and Braxton briefly at South by Southwest a couple years ago. Both extremely nice people. Aw, I'm sad that they have split. Yeah, we're going to talk about Billboard. Want to see Power? Watch Stevie Nicks own the stage in the mid to late 70s. Drop the link. I would love to see that. And speaking of Christina Aguilera and our pop culture rewind, not only was she on the Mickey Mouse Club, but her Disney roots were kind of her big break when she did Mulan in 1998 and performed Reflection. And oh my gosh, Bandle is so fun. Hi, Monique. Bandle's cool. It frustrates me though when I can't get it. And is this gonna play? There was one note in particular that really led to Christina's big break. And let me just make sure my audio, stereo audio, I think you can hear my audio. Let's hope for it. But I'm going to play this, and there's one note that like really credits her entire career.
It should be fun.
Now, I saw that in one audition you had for the film Mulan, you got the job because you could hit a high E above a middle C.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
Ron Fair is going to help us do that.
Oh
can you
God.
demonstrate that for us? What is that?
This was the exact phrase that I had to prove myself on with. Inside. That was the note.
Have you always had this big voice? I mean, you're a little thing, but I mean, have you always had this big voice?
Yeah, I was known, I would used to do the national anthems when I was like really, really young for my hometown of Pittsburgh for this Penguins, Steelers, Pirates, and I was known as the little girl with the big voice. So.
Yeah, so she makes it look so easy. Guys, I went to high school with this YouTube influencer fixing stuff. He is known as the Fixer on his social channels. I love that. Have you seen that guy? He's like, I forgot what his channel is, but he like prides himself on being like the dad who fixes stuff. And he like has this really paternal brand and like teaching you how to do things. It's really wholesome. Okay. I don't know if I could say this on my live stream on LinkedIn. I guess I can. It's my stream, right? Pop Culture Rewind. This week in 2006. I'm just gonna, you know what I need? I need a bleep. I need a bleep on this. I have a gong, but I'll let you read it. It's a bleep in a box. Premiered on Saturday Night Live on this day in 2006. It was Justin Timberlake's first time on SNL. He's now in the Five Timers Club. And the backstory on Bleep in a Box, which I'm not going to say because this is sponsored, we're going to keep it PG. But there's just some really interesting stats and behind the scenes on this. So on December 16th, it premiered as an SNL digital short. And then the TV version was heavily censored. They had to bleep it, I think, 16 times. But then the uncensored cut was released online on YouTube at 1 a.m, right after SNL aired. And think about it. This is 2006. YouTube is in its infancy, right? YouTube was only about a year old at the time, and TV clips going viral online was still new. And it exploded on YouTube within days, becoming one of the platform's first truly viral TV videos. Had 7.5 million views in the first week and 28 million views by October, which was massive for early YouTube. And it also won a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics. So if you're feeling festive and a little raunchy, go watch it. Richard. Richard in a Box. Yes. That's what we're going to go with. But another fun fact on this that I read is that Justin Timberlake was the only one that really believed in the idea. Like Andy Samberg and some of the writers pitched it to him, and they were all just kind of on the fence about it. But he was like, no, this is going to be good. We have to do this. And he helped write some of the lyrics. And as you can see, I mean, I won an Emmy for it, which is pretty incredible. And Andy Samberg was later interviewed, and he said some of the best ideas toe the line of being dumb versus brilliant. And I'm curious if you agree with this, because I absolutely do. Some of the best ideas are the things that seem outlandish and outrageous and crazy, but that's what makes them interesting. That's what makes them stand out. So it worked in their case. But let me know if you agree. I think we should treat more of our brainstorming sessions like we're planning an April Fool's joke. If you do that, it might actually be a good idea. Okay, trending topics for the week. Speaking of Emmys and awards, as you know, the Oscars are moving to YouTube in 2029. So more love for YouTube. This is going to be interesting. I'm curious. How do you think the Oscars moving to YouTube will affect audience engagement? And what else may change about this shift from primetime TV to YouTube? And yeah, while you're thinking about this, on that note, I also want to know who here has YouTube TV or uses YouTube primarily as as their TV. We have Hulu right now, but are thinking about switching. Hard agree. Yeah, fine line between dumb and brilliant. It really does work out that way. How will the Oscars moving to YouTube affect audience engagement? What else may change? President Ditz? No. Creative problem solver. This is so true. I think that just means you're brilliant. Clearly, Monique. Monique, we have to talk about Whatnot again, because someone from Whatnot engaged with your post, which is really cool. How will the Oscars moving to YouTube affect audience engagement? What else may change? I don't want to steal anyone's answer, but it's going to be interesting that, with the whole second screen thing, the second screen now is the main screen. Fiona says, I have YouTube Premium, no cable, and I love it. In my opinion, it's very worth it. Yeah, I mean, the bonus is that you get to watch everything with no ads, like just your regular YouTube videos. My friend who uses YouTube TV was in a pickle for a few weeks when they weren't airing Dancing with the Stars. Oh, that would be a problem. That would be a problem. But we do have Disney. My parents have YouTube TV. Functions pretty much like cable. Ads feel the same. Definitely cheaper than what I pay on Verizon. So the Oscars moving to YouTube. One thing that may change. I saw this tweet. I thought it was so funny. It says starting in 2029, Oscar speeches must start with, "Hey guys." Hey guys. But what's going to change? I mean, one thing that I was thinking about is that usually you're watching the Oscars on your main TV, and then for the live conversation, I don't know about you, but I still turn to Twitter for live, in the moment, real time conversation. And like, like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, we all ran to Twitter because that's where the conversation was on fire. And now that's going to happen right within YouTube. So speaking of YouTube, my partner made this for my company, Chat Walrus, and posted it this morning if anyone wants to have a laugh. I do want to have a laugh. I will watch this. Kathy Ann, it would be interesting to see live engagement on the stream if that is a thing. May make it more dynamic, power even more away from traditional media. Yeah, maybe we'll have like your comments pop up on the screen like this. I didn't even see. I was worried I went too hard on a tangent from your take, but it got my gears turning so hard. Oh, wait, we're talking about Whatnot. Yes. Yes, I will circle back with you on that and and show you. I have so many streaming services, I might as well go back to cable at this point. Same. Hey guys, what's up, chat? I also don't want like traditional hosts. Like I want YouTube stars to be the hosts. So funny. I think this is Joseph. Feel as if theater movies, that is, almost don't exist anymore. And with that loss, the Oscars lost much of their mystique and cachet. With the move to YouTube, the former prestige of the Oscars will become even more diluted. Ooh. I kind of feel that. I know, Joseph, you're such a movie buff too. We had to preserve that prestige. That's a good thought. But now maybe they can say Richard in a box and not have to bleep it. Or they could say, maybe they don't have to run their, pregnancy brain. Maybe their speeches can run as long as they want. This award is brought to you by NordVPN when I travel. Everything will be sponsored by a mattress, or Athletic Greens. It will be interesting how they choose to do a chat during the stream and how censoring changes. Yes. I got bumped, but I'm off. They will form this crazy idea called chat rooms, groups of fans. What is that? We really do need to bring back chat rooms and like understanding when people are online. Like I miss AOL when like the goal was to sign on and you could see who was available and ready to chat and you could just message them for no reason. Anyway, so speaking of YouTube, other big changes, YouTube announced that they're going to withdraw data from YouTube streams on music videos from the Billboard charts because Billboard was only counting streams from paid YouTube subscribers, and they were missing out on all the streams from people who had the free plan. So they felt that the data was inaccurate, and they argue that this, just ignores a lot of fan engagement, and that this way that they're weighing it is outdated. So that's the scoop on that. Lots going on with YouTube. All right, and speaking of streaming and all these things, we've got the Eras Tour documentary still going, but you may have seen that there is a clip in the Eras Tour documentary where Taylor Swift is listening to an audiobook, and sure enough, the Swiftie sleuths found the book, and a quick domino effect. I mean, you can see how bookstores are merchandising it. It's called The God of the Woods. And now there's going to be a Netflix adaptation of this book. And I haven't read it, but I actually was talking to a friend about it who has read it, and I think it might have been really popular already, but this is just really great to see for this author. So I'm curious, with the Taylor Swift effect, I know that's what we're calling it, but if we could break down what that really means, what's really at play here? Why does a celebrity spotlight change how we value a book, a show, or product? How do they weigh bot engagement, though? Ugh, there's just so much to consider. We just need to go back to buying CDs, and it's going to be fine. I loved this book. Yay. Yeah, like I said, I know a lot of people who have read it, it seems. So I want to say the Netflix deal and all that was already in the works, but a little boost doesn't hurt. Is this the ghostwritten book by Taylor? I mean, that would be pretty narcissistic if she was like just listening to it back. Or maybe she was reviewing it, if that is true. I don't know. I didn't know she did that. A thriller mystery. Ooh, now I'm intrigued. I read that book. It was good. Not sure if it was worth a movie adaptation. Ooh, we'll see. I wonder how much of it they'll change. So what's really at play with the Taylor Swift effect? What would you tell someone if they asked you? Well, I guess what I'm asking you here. Why does a celebrity spotlight change how we value and see something? But yeah, what is the Taylor Swift ghostwritten book? I haven't heard about that. If Taylor likes a book, I also like that book. It reminds me of the Be Like Mike Gatorade campaign. Lathan says it is a way to connect further with celebrities, superfans, and Swifties especially will buy and do anything related to Taylor. So this is just another thing. Yeah, did anyone else see that at the Chiefs game, she was seen using like a very traditional looking camera, which also spiked in sales? Lots I mean, everything she touches turns to gold. Kathy Ann describes it as, we value the opinion of our favorite celebrity so we can feel like we are in the same club as the Swiftie. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, Taylor Swift is such an incredible writer. I always am curious. I'm like, this girl must read a ton to be so good at writing. So to get a glimpse into what's on her audiobook shelf is really fascinating to me. I want to say it was already in the works because it seemed to happen overnight. But I did not research that specifically. I think it's getting a boost. Because, yeah, this just came out last week. There's thriller history. Oh, the Chiefs had a rough week, huh? So, yeah, we're seeing the Taylor Swift effect at play. An old school camera. Yes. I've been thinking about that too because I want to get more photos printed and do like photo albums. It's all part of us slowing down because also, and my camera roll is a disaster. Taylor is just so relatable. We will pay for it to relate just a little more. Yeah. So if you haven't read it, maybe add it to your wish list. Nothing happens all of a sudden. Yeah, I want to say it was in the works. We'll see. To be confirmed. You know who else is also so relatable? Pete Davidson, because he drives a minivan and loves minivans apparently. And he partnered with eBay on a campaign called Built to Spec, where they souped up this minivan for him as he enters this new chapter as a dad. And they sourced all of these really cool features and upgrades directly from eBay. They have something called eBay Motors. And it just goes to show that pretty much anyone can customize things with the help of eBay. So inside this minivan, it had an upgraded engine, a fridge, a diaper changing station, and what I found most hilarious is apparently Pete Davidson loves VHS tapes and has a huge collection and buys a ton of them off eBay. And he asked them for a VHS player to be in the minivan. And they added that, but what kills me, what I find kind of funny, we keep calling it a VHS player. It's a VCR. We're that old. We've forgotten, it's that outdated that we've forgotten to just call it a VCR. But alas, he has a VCR in his souped up minivan. And he's also set out in this campaign to challenge the stigma that minivans aren't cool. And you can see in a video, if you look up this campaign, his reaction to to getting the minivan. He's like, it's so sick. This is so sick. And it's hilarious. So honestly, this campaign checks every box for me because it challenges a stigma. It's actually authentic to Pete Davidson, who apparently loves minivans, but also is becoming a dad. It's funny because his reaction is hysterical. And also, they incorporated a charitable element to this where they made a van for Pete, but they're also auctioning off one more. And eBay is also going to match whatever that, however much was raised during that auction. And they are donating it to, what is the name of the charity? Called Answer the Call. And it's a nonprofit that helps families of fallen New York City first responders. And if you didn't know, Pete Davidson's dad was a firefighter who unfortunately lost his life on 9/11 in the World Trade Center. So it's a perfectly well-rounded campaign for me. And yeah, it kind of makes me want a minivan. So my question, and I see some comments rolling in, I want to read these, is how does brand perception shift when the messaging comes from a person instead of the brand itself? Because we've all seen minivan commercials. We've probably even seen eBay commercials, and we know what eBay is about. But seeing this message kind of packaged by Pete Davidson, just for me, when I watched this video of him receiving this minivan, it just felt different. So don't fight the minivan. And I was hilariously against minivans until I drove a minivan. It's the best. Yeah, I want to say his quote was like, they're so uncool that they're cool, Like if you aren't afraid to drive a minivan, you're cool. 1980s Nikon. I bet we could find these vintage cameras on eBay, actually. That was a segue I didn't see coming. I love Pete too. So funny. Exhibit would be so excited about those features. Yes, where is the fish tank? That's all they're missing. Isn't it smart? I love this too. Tattoo removal laser. I want to say he's got to be almost done, right? My wife called a dictionary that book of definitions. Oh. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's a VCR. Aw, bye, Anna. Thanks for joining. This is so smart. The cool kids are growing up. You got to start normalizing and making adulting cool. Yeah, I'm really rethinking things. Pete really does seem like a minivan kind of guy. I wouldn't have pegged him as one, but it happened. Lathan says, this is why we have celebrity-owned brands. You are trading solely on the reception and fandom of a celebrity. Depending on the person, it can be successful, but has high risk and personally not super inspired or creative. Yeah, I think this one, like I said, this one really checks everything off, especially just with his delivery and the humor. In fact, they also did an Instagram takeover with Pete. You can see here. Hold on. How can I pull this up? Make me go away. Um, hey, it's Pete posting from my new dad van. They did a full takeover, and shout out to Micah Hoffman, who I connected with on this. And I was like, I have to feature this. She said, when we heard we want to have Pete do an Instagram takeover, we were all ears. What followed was a fully immersive, social-first takeover moment. Profile pic swap, updated bio, link in bio, first-person stories, comment replies, a note, a broadcast channel message, and activity on threads. If there was a button to press, we pressed it. The result, above benchmark engagement and a major boost in reach. The vibe, chaotic in the best way. And it looks like she had a ton of fun helping to launch this. She's the senior associate of social media at eBay. So shout out to her for pressing all those buttons and getting that to run smoothly. This is just probably one of my favorite campaigns of the year. It's all about authentic third-party validation. If you can get that, you're golden. Yeah, I think that's what they did here. Jennifer, you missed some good movie conversation and talking about the Oscars. Kathy Ann, the message becomes more human, but also with Pete, he has his own brand, so that will influence the target audience. He is funny, and now a new target audience gets to see the van as acceptable. I also think it's really powerful to see a dad do it. You always hear about the mom van, but they also put I forgot what it's called. What's that thing on the top of the van where you can put all your gear? They added one of those. So, my husband likes to go fishing and do some of those things. Like, I could just see him loading up his dad van. So that in itself was refreshing too. Another stigma that minivans are just for soccer moms. I just love it. And we have to congratulate Pete Davidson because as of yesterday, the headline broke that he and his girlfriend Elsie welcomed a baby girl who they named Scotty after his late father, Scott. So this is just a chef's kiss campaign. You can tell when it's genuine. What do you call this kind of professionalism? I want this. You mean Micah? Yeah, she just knocked it out of the park, all of those things. And I love how she shared it and gave a peek under the hood. They did that in the video when they showed the engine. We got to see under the hood on the social side as well. So connect with Micah if you like this campaign. Definitely give her a shout out. And yeah, and go watch the video, and also go get a minivan and add some cool stuff from eBay. Go get some VHS tapes. All right. It's also Feel Good Friday, so I want to hear some good news. What's going on? What do you have happening with the holidays? Anything exciting happened this week? What do you want to share? Do you want to shout someone out? Speaking of what Matthew says, if you want to share something kind that you did this week or something kind that someone did for you, I am all ears. The first thing that went in our minivan was a load of sheetrock. Oh man, just transporting stuff. They're very useful. They're very useful. Feel Good Friday. I'm going to share that I had my first ever call with a business coach this week. If anyone is familiar with Roberto Blake, he is just the authority on the creator economy, and he's got some exciting ideas that we both have exciting ideas, but I need help executing them. So he's helping me with a plan for that. So there's going to be a lot of really cool things in store for Pop Chat in 2026. Men drive minivans too. We love it. Joseph says, being able to take a brand message and translate it through the lens of a relatable person is one of the most important practices in brand marketing, I think. Yeah. And it's, sometimes we just see celebrity partnerships just because they're the hot celebrity of the moment. But they really made it feel authentic and like it made sense. And at this point in Pete Davidson's life too. Lots of cargo. So keep sharing your Feel Good Friday moments, but I also want to get to our pop quiz. because we've got Zapier merch to give away. So I'll give you guys a second. You might be typing up your good news. But I also want you at the ready for this question. It's our pop quiz. Okay, friends. Oh, Jennifer says my Zapier gear came. It actually came last Friday, about an hour after Pop Chat. Look at that. I love it. Well, please post about it. Please tag Fiona, tag Zapier, tag me. If you want to model some of your merch, that's cool too. I know Lathan got his. We'll have to see when Kathy Ann gets hers because it's going a little farther. But I don't want to miss it. Let me know. Let me know when you get yours and when you post about it. And I also want to know about what zaps you all are making. Don't save those secrets. I want to hear about your cool zaps. Oh, Joseph, one of my former students built this website in my class. Priestley Pointers reached 6 years this month. Oh my goodness, I've been teaching a long time then. Have you been updating it, Joseph? Joseph is just the go-to on all things language and grammar. And if you have a language question about anything, he's got you covered. You know, we see a lot of different ones around the holidays too, like the correct way to address Christmas cards, things like that. So I love just how resourceful your site is. All right, pop quiz. Are we ready? My question for you. Whoever is the first to get this right. Who made Oscar history in 2003 with the first rap song to win Best Original Song? Who made Oscars history in 2003 with the first rap song to win Best Original Song? Yay! Priestley Pointers is his website all about language and tips to help you become a better writer. I'll let Joseph kind of give the spiel, but it's really great. Go follow him. He also does these fun language polls that blow my mind. You think there's something in grammar that you thought you were getting right, maybe you're not. Like one thing Joseph taught me is that when you're abbreviating microphone, it should be abbreviated as mic, like M-I-K-E, not just M-I-C. Oh man, speaking of Joseph, I think this is him, our LinkedIn user. Please confirm for me if you're on LinkedIn natively and can see his name, but Eminem is correct. I feel like eventually we'll have enough people in Pop Chat to have Zap Gear to plan to match for a Pop Chat episode. No one would know if we followed through. Well, StreamYard, I think, does have a little webinar capability, or we could all show up on camera. So we can arrange that. Zapier. Maybe the day that I bring home the baby in his onesie, we could all be in our Zapier gear. Joseph, if this is you, please let me know. But yeah, 2003, yes, with Lose Yourself, as Amy said, from 8 Mile. Usher is a good guess. Yeah, Amy, so close. Danny, so close. Correct answer. Yeah, first rap song to win Best Original Song. Oh, yes, the late Brittany Murphy. Yeah, Lathan's letting more Zap Gear go around. So, Joseph, I think you won. Please confirm. Or Fiona, if you can see it natively on LinkedIn, and we'll make sure to get you some Zapier merch. Oh, here he is. And then he didn't perform it at the Oscars until 2020, which took place in February 2020. So really snuck that in. Oh, great. Perfect. Pop Chat baby shower. Oh my goodness. That would be so fun. I didn't say it, but Monique, if that's so fun. Want some baby gear for her nephew. Oh, that would be so cute. Yeah. You have a new nephew on the way, Monique? That's okay. StreamYard, I've learned, has limits based on the plan. I think I tried to do 12 people on screen and stopped me at 10. I also just downgraded my tier, so we'll have to do that. Oh, Christmas dinner in Scotland. Have fun, Kathy Ann. That sounds like a really fun Friday night activity. You do? He sits on your lap while I zap. How old is he? We'll have to see what we can arrange. We can get some Zapier onesies. I have mine here. It's right on my shelf over there. This needs to become like the new baby Zapier catchphrase. Okay, speaking of Zapier, they want to know, how do you keep your content ideas organized? All of us here are such creative people with ideas bouncing around and swirling around. How do you keep your content ideas organized? Do you have a system? Do you have a system, or are you just putting everything in your notes app? Yay. 4-month-old. Is his name Zapier? He's only allowed screen time when he sits and works with me. That's fair. My daughter does not let me work if she's in my lap. She just tries to type everything. So what are we doing to organize our content ideas? I'm happy to share that this year was the year that I finally ventured into figuring out Notion. And I made myself a really cool dashboard that has different categories and goals, and I store all my content ideas in there. I love that I can brain dump and Zap will literally organize for me, right? You don't even have to be tech savvy. You just tell them your vision, your dream, and it's like, yeah, you know what? I can do that. I've got you on my lap while I zap. You don't keep your content ideas organized. You're an absolute creative disaster. Okay, but the ideas that you bring to life, Danny, are gold. So you're doing something right. Ooh, Lathan has a stream of consciousness for brainstorming. A good idea gets moved to a doc for expansion and research. Then it reaches the deck phase for pitching. Ooh, who are we pitching to? I love this. Woo! Let's get organized, friends. I'm a bit of a mess. I dump way too much stuff just in my Slack combo with myself. Ooh, well, Zapier can help with that because you can take those. That's brilliant. You can take those messages in Slack and it can automatically add them to Notion or ClickUp or Trello or just a more organized system. Excuse me, in my lungs. Add your convo to Zap. Yeah, that's perfect. And I have a similar Zap to suggest, but this is more of an inbox hack. If you are getting lots of ideas from your manager and your boss or other teams, and they just are sending things your way and you don't want to lose them, here's a Zap you can try, because great content ideas might live in your inbox and then get buried, forgotten, or lost forever. So a Zap idea is to turn any email into an organized content idea with one label in Gmail. So you can apply a Gmail label like content idea to that email, and then it'll organize it for you. It creates a new task or card in Trello, Asana, or Notion, and pulls in the email subject and body to give you some context. So then every idea sent to your inbox is automatically captured, searchable, and ready to be turned into content. And again, you can do this with Slack too. I need to have more Slack conversations with myself. That is like a good stream of consciousness thing too, is just have, an ongoing dialogue with yourself. So this is a content idea in itself, you guys. Something that you guys can do to keep things organized. I love it. So go ahead and try this. Let me know, because we all could use some additional organization, especially going into the new year. All right, a few more minutes. We're going to wrap up with some industry news. Who didn't see this this headline? I saw this going viral on LinkedIn, on Twitter. It was just everywhere, people screenshotting this article about how companies are desperately seeking storytellers and how that is a job title. And companies have found that using the word editorial in a job title wasn't really working for what they were looking for, because editorial seems limiting. I have a quote from the article. It says they put in mind a very specific thing you're doing or creating, whereas you could tell stories in so many different ways: social, podcasts, putting your executives out there, hosting an event, talking to the press. So it's not just editorial. There's a whole gamut of storytelling. I only have Slack conversations with myself. I don't use it to talk to other humans. Do you have it on your phone too, Danny? Because I need to do that. I have Slack and I should start a thread with myself, but I'm on my phone a lot. Yes, it was everywhere. So this is saying that a storyteller job title opens up the idea that storytelling can be on any medium in any format. So my question for you is, are some platforms better for storytelling? And what must be consistent no matter the medium or format? Do you find that there is just a specific platform or format that is better for storytelling? But what must be consistent no matter the medium or format? Ooh, Lathan with a hot take. Companies say they want storytellers, but in my experience, they just want cheap money, making ideas. I hope they back it up and hire me to tell those stories. Stories come in different forms. Yes, Lathan, I think Lathan is still on the job hunt. Am I right? You see his big brain and how smart he is, and there's a lot that he can contribute. So if you're looking for a storyteller, hire him. Danny says, I think the biggest miss is that people aren't talking about how important that is for data people. There are parallel trends. More data is more need to communicate what it means. Ooh, I want to understand this more, Danny. Do me a favor. Do you feel inspired to write a post about this? Monique, the story is just told differently, but the voice should be the same. Yeah, that is a great marker of what should be consistent. And also, if you feel like sharing, tell me what method of storytelling comes most naturally to you. Like, what medium do you like creating in the most? The story has to be consistent across channels. Yeah, to fully integrate it. Danny, I've had storyteller in my bio for years, and you truly are. When I left NBC, an industry peer explained that I may not be writing about sports anymore, but I will always be a storyteller, and encouraged me to take that mentality everywhere I go. It really changed my perspective. And with your work, you have so many, powerful stories to tell. And if you're not following Danny and his work, please do. Danny is also an Emmy winner, just like, Justin Timberlake and Andy Samberg from earlier. Yes. Well, make sure you flag it so I can see that, Danny. All right, friends, we're right at 2:00. Please keep chiming in on this, but I want to wrap up and say thank you so much for just a great year of Pop Chat. I pivoted this chat to a live stream in January. So it truly has been a year of this format. And I didn't know if I would like being I don't know that I'm a storyteller with this show, but I didn't know that this would be a format for me. And if this show would or this, discussion would translate well from Twitter to a live stream. And you all have just made it so fun, so interesting. And I can only hope that you all are connecting beyond this chat and, continuing those conversations and building networks and friendships with each other, because that's also why I'm here. I do love geeking out over this stuff, but nothing warms my heart more than seeing you all connect and have have Pop Chat as a small part of that. So please do. First time I've been referred to in the same sentence as Justin Timberlake. So funny. So thank you all so much. We will be back in 2026. Everyone enjoy the holidays. Have a happy new year, a Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you may be celebrating. Take some time to slow down. Oh, Pop fam, I love that. I've met so many new friends too with this format. Switching from Twitter to a live stream, and we're still on Twitter too. So if you're over there, still love you. But thank you all so much, and of course, special thanks to our sponsor Zapier. They are going to be with us again in the new year. And even after baby Zap is born, Zapier they're sticking around with us. So thank you all. Joseph will get you some merch. Fiona, thank you so much for running point on that. And I'll see you all next year. Have a happy and safe holiday. Oh, thank you, Danny. I'm only as good as, the people who show up. You all make it easy by having such thought-provoking ideas and sparking conversations. And it's so fun for me. So thank you. All right. See you next year. Bye, guys.